Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Senior government officials accompanied Prime Minister Alan Shastney and other cabinet ministers on a 2-hour gallery walk of the work carried out during the social and economic labs over the past 4 weeks. Director of Economics at the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Justin Ram, who participated in the gallery walk, spoke glowingly of the recommendations brought forward from the labs. More in this report.
A gallery walk was the final activity conducted under the Social and Economic Labs, which brought together over 150 participants from the public and private sectors and civil society organizations to plan the medium-term development strategy for St. Lucia. The gallery walk took the form of presentations from individuals representing 6 key result areas, that of education, health, infrastructure, crime, agriculture and tourism. Honorable Guy Joseph was very encouraged with the level of engagement during the entire process.
I cannot recall the last time we would have seen that level of engagement with so many persons, both in the private and public sector in St. Lucia, engaging in a plan for the development and advancement of St. Lucia.
Joseph said, though the gallery walk was intended to give government ministers and participants an overall picture of the work done in the key result areas, he was more concerned with the output.
Now, these are good plans on paper. The issue is, what do we do with these good plans that we have on paper? We would be measured as we go along, and we would go into phase 2 of this whole process. The output of the labs will assist the government of St. Lucia in developing this medium-term development strategy.
Prime Minister Honorable Alan Shastney weighed in on most of the presentations during the gallery walk. He too was encouraged by some of the out-of-the-box thinking.
The purpose of this process is a couple things. One is to get a buy-in in terms of what is the overall goals of our government in terms of being able to achieve. And then bringing in all the people who participate in delivering that good. And then having a further constraint on top of it, which you hear me say all the time, where's the money going to come from? All right? I genuinely believe that what I saw over the last couple of weeks is a greater appreciation of the need to be able to prioritize. Unfortunately, we have found ourselves in a dilemma where we're so far behind on so many things, whether it be infrastructure, education, health, justice, tourism, agriculture, and the list goes on. But the fact is, there absolutely is not enough resources to do everything that we want to be able to do. And so what it requires innovation. It requires that overly used term, out-of-the-box thinking.
Meanwhile, Director of Economics at the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Justin Ram, was impressed that the discussions did not focus simply on economic growth, but sustainable, inclusive growth.
In a very short space of time, the people of St. Lucia have come up with some key development plans that will transform St. Lucia from where it is currently, with a fairly high level of unemployment rate. But if we were to implement these plans that we saw today, the unemployment rate would come down to a very respectable level.
Dr. Ram added that the Caribbean Development Bank stands ready to assist the people and government of St. Lucia in implementing these development plans going forward. The gallery walk took place on the 5th floor of the Finance Administrative Center in Point Seraphin on Friday, 14 December 2018. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Unit, Glenn Simon reporting.
Port St. Lucia has delivered on both its promises to the Babonneau Primary School on Friday last week. The local furniture and electrical superstore completed a brand new sick bay for the school and hosted a Christmas party for the entire student body on the same day. More in this report.
If any parent has plans to not take their child to school, it certainly wouldn't be on the day that Santa and his elves from Unicommerce St. Lucia were coming to Babonneau Primary. Unicommerce St. Lucia Limited, trading as Courts, hosted their first ever Christmas children's party at the school for over 150 students, with presents for everyone, including the gift of a newly furnished sick room. According to the OECS brand manager Melissa Marius, Since it is the season, the company wanted to give a little more.
Well, all throughout the year, our donations and sponsorship portfolio, we focus on the disadvantaged, so the youth, persons sick and shut in, and any other public and private sector. We invest very heavily all year round. Christmas time, obviously, you try to go a step extra. We have our wish list component that we've done every year, where we go around the islands giving products and hampers, because a lot of people need food. You'd be surprised. Sometimes people don't ask for a furniture piece or an appliance, they ask you for a food hamper. So that's something that we have always done and will continue to do. And this school party is just icing on the cake in terms of what we do and what we continue to do.
The school principal says that she never thought that Courts would have been able to deliver on both promises in such a short space of time.
Yes, I was here on Saturday, and prior to that, the very first day that the gentleman came to work on the tiles, I was here. And seeing it to fruition is just super. It's awesome. And when I saw the photo last night, because I was out yesterday at a meeting, I could not believe my eyes. And I said, wow, what a transformation, in such a short space of time. So I am indeed grateful. And we at Babno Primary, we are just simply grateful to Court St. Lucia Limited.
According to her, it is not always possible to get every child a gift or for every parent to be able to afford one for the Christmas season. But thankfully, neither she nor her staff will have to worry about that, since Court St. Lucia provided gifts for everyone. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Thank you, Nisha. Before you put out your garbage this Christmas season, the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority is urging the public to pay attention to the Christmas garbage collection. Keeping the environment clean and hazard-free is a top priority for the Solid Waste Management Authority moving into the Christmas holidays, as they provide a detailed breakdown of the schedule.
The St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority is encouraging all residents to contribute to a clean and hazard-free environment by adhering to the holiday season garbage collection schedule. Information and Communication Manager at the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority, Emlyn Jha, sheds light on the dates when no service will be provided.
There are actually 2 days during the year when the authority shuts down. So that's Christmas Day and New Year's Day. As such, there will be no garbage collection service on New Year's Day and Christmas Day. In addition to that, the Dedlow Sanitary Landfill and the Viewfort Solid Waste Management Facility will be closed as well. Now, residents who usually receive collection on a Tuesday would receive a service but on another day. What we would encourage residents to do is to call the authority for information with respect to that.
With Christmas Day and New Year's Day both falling on a Tuesday, Jha explained that households who receive their collection service on Tuesdays should pay heed to the new collection day provided by their garbage collection provider.
We encourage residents to take heed of these announcements. It's really, really important that people do the correct thing. If not, then we're not going to have clean communities for the season. The general pattern, though, is for collection contractors. What I've recognized happening this year, the service will be offered on the following day. That is the Wednesday, the holiday, both the Christmas holiday and the New Year's holiday. But it's important that people verify the day for their community in order to do the correct thing.
Jha noted that at this time of year, a greater sense of personal accountability is vital due to the increase in consumption and generation of high levels of solid waste. Residents who require immediate disposal of waste are encouraged to transport all waste to the Dedlow Sanitary Landfill or the Viewfort Solid Waste Management Facility. Households who receive collection on Tuesdays are asked to pay attention to the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority's Facebook and Twitter page for the revised collection dates. Residents are also urged to be mindful that poor solid waste management can be detrimental to both the environment and human health. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Coming up, sports news with Tennyson Glasgow.